Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror, wearing a dress you once adored, and suddenly something just felt off? Not because the dress changed, but because you did. You've grown, evolved, become wiser, stronger, more grounded in who you are. But somehow, your closet hasn't quite caught up. This video isn't about following fashion rules or trends that were never made with you in mind. It's about reconnecting with yourself through style that honors where you are today. Because after 60, style isn't about looking younger. It's about looking like the most confident version of you. In the next few minutes, we're going to explore subtle dress choices that can either elevate your presence or quietly work against it. And more importantly, I'll show you how to dress in a way that reflects the power, grace, and vitality you carry into every room you enter. This isn't about hiding. It's about being seen, fully, beautifully, unapologetically. Let's begin. 1. The most important secret. Your waistline. Let's talk about something that might be the single most overlooked yet powerful style secret after 60. Your waistline. It's easy to think that with time, our bodies soften, our shapes shift, and maybe our waist isn't what it used to be. So we start reaching for dresses that skip over it entirely. Loose, boxy, flowing pieces that promise comfort, but end up hiding something far more important than curves: our presence. But here's the truth. Your waist hasn't disappeared. It just needs to be invited back into the conversation. You don't need to be a certain size or shape to celebrate it. You just need intention. When you bring subtle definition to your waist, you create something magical: structure, balance, and elegance without effort. Think of a soft belt, a wrap detail, a gentle seam that draws in just enough to follow your natural lines. It doesn't have to squeeze or restrict. It simply needs to acknowledge that this part of you still matters. Because when you ignore the waistline, something deeper happens. You start to disappear beneath your clothes. The silhouette becomes shapeless, and your energy dims. But when you define your waist, even slightly, it lifts your entire look. Your posture improves, your presence grows. People notice, not because you're shouting for attention, but because your style quietly says, "I know who I am." And this isn't about trying to look younger. It's about looking alive, looking engaged, looking like a woman who knows her worth and isn't afraid to reflect it outward. One of the easiest ways to begin is with a well-cut wrap dress. It's timeless, flattering, and forgiving in all the right ways. Or try a midi dress with a soft elastic waist, or even a structured dress with a sewn-in seam that mimics the effect of a belt. These aren't tricks. They're tools. And they work not because they change who you are, but because they highlight what's already beautiful. I'll ask you a simple question. When was the last time you put something on and felt like it truly reflected who you are now? Not who you used to be, or who the world expects you to be, but who you are today. If it's been a while, start here. Start with your waist. Give yourself permission to be seen, not hidden, not minimized, not camouflaged. You've earned the right to take up space, to have shape, to move through the world with quiet authority. And when your dress honors that, something shifts. Not just in how others see you, but in how you see yourself. Your waistline is not just a physical feature, it's a symbol of strength, of identity, of elegance that comes not from youth, but from self-awareness. And that, my dear, is the most beautiful shape of all. 2. The silent saboteur. Too many details. Let's move on to a style trap that catches so many women off guard: the over-decorated dress. We've all seen them: layers of lace, rows of sequins, ruffles upon ruffles, cutouts, embroidery, beads, and sometimes all of the above. At first glance, they may seem glamorous or festive. But when you're over 60, more isn't always more. Here's the issue. When a dress is overloaded with details, it stops being an outfit and starts being a distraction. Instead of highlighting your natural elegance, it competes with it. Your eye doesn't know where to land, your shape gets lost under the chaos, and what was meant to look luxurious ends up feeling overwhelming. And let's be honest, a dress that's trying too hard can accidentally send the message that you're trying too hard. But you don't need glitter and frills to stand out. You already have presence. What you need is space. Space in your outfit for you to be seen. Elegance, especially later in life, is about knowing what to leave out. It's the power of restraint. A smooth fabric that drapes just right, a single pleat at the waist, a soft detail at the neckline. That's what gives your look polish. That's what whispers sophistication instead of shouting for attention. Think about it. Have you ever worn a dress that looked amazing on the hanger but made you feel heavy or cluttered once you put it on? That's not you, it's the dress. You deserve clothing that lifts you up, not weighs you down. So what should you look for instead? Aim for dresses with clean lines and one focal point. Maybe a beautiful neckline, a subtle texture in the fabric, or an unexpected sleeve detail. These quiet elements say so much more than 1,000 embellishments ever could. And remember, you're not dressing for applause. You're dressing for alignment, for that moment when you catch your reflection and think, yes, that feels like me. Your style doesn't need to scream. It simply needs to speak your truth. And sometimes, the most elegant look you can wear is the one that allows your spirit, not your sequins, to shine. 3. The fit that sets you free. Finding the right size. Let's talk about something so simple, yet so often ignored. The fit of your dress. Not the color, not the cut, not the trend, just the fit. The way it actually sits on your body. Because no matter how beautiful a dress is, if it doesn't fit right, it won't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right, it won't look right either. Here's what I see all the time. Women over 60 falling into one of two extremes. They either squeeze into something too small, holding on to a size from 10 years ago, or they hide inside something too big, thinking it's safer to disappear than to be seen. Both choices come from the same place: self-protection. But neither does you justice. A dress that's too tight pulls in all the wrong places. It forces you to adjust constantly, makes you feel self-conscious, and distracts from your confidence. A dress that's too loose might feel comfortable at first, but over time it erases your shape, your energy, your sense of presence. Here's the truth. The right size isn't about the number on the tag, it's about how the dress makes you feel. Can you move freely? Does it sit smoothly over your body? Do you feel lifted when you wear it? Or weighed down? If you answered no to any of those, then it's not the right fit, and it's time to let it go. The most flattering thing you can wear is a dress that fits you, not who you used to be, not who someone else expects you to be, but the woman standing here today. And sometimes that means going up a size. Not because your body is wrong, but because the garment was never made for your body in the first place. Every brand cuts differently. Every fabric behaves differently. A size 12 in one dress might feel like a size 8 in another. That's not your fault. It's just the industry. So instead of chasing a number, chase the feeling. Try on the size that actually fits and watch what happens. Your posture changes. Your breathing eases. Your smile becomes more genuine. That's the power of clothes that work with you, not against you. And if the fit is almost right but not perfect, consider tailoring. A small adjustment to the hem, the sleeve, or the waistline can transform a dress from meh to made for me. You deserve that. You deserve to look and feel like your wardrobe was designed just for your life, your body, your moment. Because comfort isn't a luxury. It's the foundation of elegance. And confidence begins the moment you stop fighting your clothes and start letting them support you. 4. The frame that speaks first, your neckline. Now, let's look at a part of your dress that's often underestimated but speaks louder than you think. The neckline. It may seem like a small detail, just a curve of fabric near your collarbone. But in reality, it's the frame for the most expressive part of you, your face. The right neckline can lift your entire look. It can elongate your neck, soften your features, and even affect the way people perceive your posture and presence. But when it's off, even by a little, it can throw everything out of balance. For example, a neckline that's too high can feel stiff and restricting. It can shorten your neck, create a closed-off look, and even make your shoulders appear hunched. On the other hand, a neckline that plunges too low might seem daring, but often ends up looking desperate, not elegant. And you? You don't need to beg for attention. You command it naturally. So what works? Let's start with the classic V-neck. Not too deep, not too sharp. Just enough to open the chest area and lift the eye. It's universally flattering, especially if you have a rounder face or fuller bust. It creates space, adds length, and draws attention upward, where it belongs. Another timeless option is the boat neckline. Soft, horizontal, it subtly widens the upper body and balances your shape. It adds elegance without effort. And if you love something feminine but not fussy, a wrap neckline is a beautiful choice. It layers softly, flatters the chest, and pairs well with both casual and dressy styles. But it's not just about the cut. It's about the intention. The neckline should invite connection, not hide from it. It should reflect who you are now, open, confident, fully present. One small tip. The skin around your neckline matters too. A touch of moisturizer, a delicate necklace, or even a bit of soft bronzer can make a world of difference. Because this area, this simple space between your chin and chest, isn't just skin. It's the beginning of your presence. So the next time you try on a dress, don't just look at the fit or the print. Look at the neckline. Does it support your elegance? Does it lead the eye to your face? Does it allow you to be seen, not just looked at? Because a great neckline doesn't shout. It whispers your confidence. And when chosen well, it doesn't just flatter your body, it honors your presence. 5. The quiet power of prints. Choosing patterns that elevate. Let's talk about something that seems harmless, even playful, but can make or break your entire look. Prints. We're talking about florals, stripes, polka dots, abstract swirls, and everything in between. The right pattern can add personality and charm. The wrong one? It can overpower you, age you, or simply throw off the balance of your outfit. Here's the thing. Not all prints are created equal. Especially after 60, your print choices say more than you might realize. Big, loud florals in faded tones may feel cheerful at first glance, but they can quickly add visual weight, make you look shorter, and even wash you out. Overly busy patterns with harsh color contrasts can distract from your best features, your face, your smile, your posture. But this doesn't mean you need to swear off prints entirely. Far from it. Prints can be incredibly flattering, when chosen with care. The key is scale, space, and tone. Small-scale prints are your best friend. Think delicate florals, soft polka dots, or abstract shapes that don't scream for attention. These prints complement your presence rather than compete with it. Look for designs that have breathing room, meaning there's space between the patterns so the eye knows where to focus. Dense, all-over prints can feel heavy and chaotic. But a pattern that allows negative space lets you shine through. Color matters too. Choose combinations that enhance your natural tones. Earthy colors, soft jewel tones, muted pastels. These can all bring warmth and energy to your look without overwhelming it. And here's a great rule of thumb. Stick to dresses with no more than 2 main colors. The simpler the palette, the more elegant the impact. Vertical elements in a print, like stripes or ombre fades, can also work wonders. They guide the eye up and down, elongating your shape and creating a sense of movement. That's the kind of visual message we want to send. Poised, graceful, in motion. And if you're wearing a printed dress, remember to go light on accessories. Let the pattern do its quiet work. A simple earring, a soft shoe, maybe one elegant bracelet. That's enough. The print should support your presence, not distract from it. So next time you're drawn to a bold pattern on the rack, pause. Hold it up and ask yourself, is this adding to my elegance or competing with it? Does it reflect the calm confidence I feel inside? Because when your print speaks softly, it allows everything else, your eyes, your smile, your spirit, to speak louder. 6. Letting go. Gracefully. Outdated designs that hold you back. There's a quiet trap many of us fall into, often without realizing it. Holding on to outdated designs. Maybe it's that shift dress you wore to a family gathering 15 years ago. Or that high-neck floral you used to love but now only feels off. These dresses carry memories, no doubt. But sometimes, what they also carry is a version of ourselves that we've already outgrown. Fashion evolves, but more importantly, you evolve. Your mindset, your energy, your rhythm, all of it grows. And the dress that once fit your life perfectly might now be saying something you no longer feel. The problem with outdated styles isn't always that they're unfashionable, it's that they no longer align with your spirit today. Boxy, shapeless dresses may have once felt modern. Now, they can make you look heavier, older, or simply invisible, not because you've changed for the worse, but because your style hasn't evolved with you. And this isn't about chasing trends. This is about dressing in a way that honors the woman you've become, the woman who's confident, dynamic, alive. So what does that look like? Think movement. Think structure. Think silhouettes that respond to your body instead of hiding it. A soft A-line that flares at the hem. A wrap dress that highlights your waist. Subtle seams that guide the eye and create flow. You don't need to toss your entire wardrobe. Sometimes, replacing just one outdated piece with something more fluid, more intentional, can change how you feel in your clothes, and more importantly, how you feel in your skin. Here's a simple question you can ask yourself, dress by dress. Would I buy this today, knowing who I am now? If the answer is no, maybe it's time to thank that piece for its service and let it go. Because you're not dressing for who you were 10 years ago. You're dressing for the woman standing here today. And she deserves clothes that reflect her clarity, her story, and her joy. You've grown. You've earned your place. You don't need to wear memories. You deserve to wear confidence. 7. Length that speaks. Elegance, rethinking the hemline. Let's talk about something that seems so simple, yet carries a lot more meaning than we often realize. The length of your dress. You might be surprised how much just a few inches of fabric can say about your presence, your poise, and the way the world perceives you. Many women over 60 still reach for dresses that are a bit too short, not because they're trying to look younger, but because it's what they've always worn. And there's nothing wrong with showing your legs. Your legs are strong. They've carried you through every phase of life. They've walked miles, danced at weddings, climbed stairs with groceries in hand. They deserve to be celebrated. But here's the shift. A dress that hits too far above the knee can disrupt the line of your body. It can draw the eye downward, break up your silhouette, and, unintentionally, make you look shorter or less balanced. It's not about modesty, it's about harmony. Longer lengths, particularly midi dresses that fall just below the knee or mid-calf, tend to elongate the body and add instant polish. They say something quiet but confident. I don't need to try hard, I just know who I am. And if you're worried about losing that playful edge, here's a little secret. A soft side slit can add just the right amount of flirtation. It's not about hiding, it's about being intentional, about choosing to reveal in a way that feels empowering, not performative. Longer dresses also open the door to more creative styling. A defined waist, a beautiful neckline, flowing fabric that catches the light. They give you more movement, more grace, and frankly, more presence. Before you reach for that familiar short hemline, pause. Ask yourself, does this dress reflect the woman I am today? Not the girl you were, not the fashion of a decade ago, but the woman standing tall right now. Because elegance doesn't come from showing more skin. It comes from showing up fully, comfortable, grounded, unapologetically radiant. And sometimes, all it takes is a little extra length to help you walk into a room and own it without saying a word. 8. The real transformation. Dressing for who you are today. Now that we've walked through the details, the length, the fit, the print, the neckline, the waistline, the style, and the subtle traps that can quietly work against you, it's time to bring it all together. Because at the heart of everything we've talked about is one simple truth. Style after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about alignment. When your clothing reflects who you truly are, not who you were, not who the world expects, but the grounded, radiant, confident woman you've become, that's when everything changes. That's when your presence becomes unforgettable. You don't need a brand new wardrobe to get there. You don't need to chase trends or be anyone but yourself. What you need is awareness, intention, and the courage to ask, with every piece you wear, does this reflect the life I'm living today? Because the most beautiful thing you can ever wear isn't a dress, or a belt, or even the perfect neckline. It's your attitude, your ease, your energy. If you've watched this far, chances are you're ready for a shift, not just in your closet, but in the way you see yourself. So take this moment, go to your wardrobe, hold up each dress, and instead of asking, does this still fit? Ask, does this still fit me? If it doesn't, let it go. Lovingly, gratefully, confidently. Because you're not dressing for the past anymore. You're dressing for a woman who's earned every line, every laugh, every lesson. You are not invisible. You are not fading. You are in your prime. And when your style reflects that truth, you don't just look elegant. You become unforgettable. Let that be your style from this day forward. Honest, intentional, and entirely your own. So here we are. You've just taken a journey, not just through dresses, but through identity, presence, and the quiet power of dressing for the life you live now. This wasn't about fashion rules or chasing youth. It was about coming home to yourself. About stepping into your style not to impress others, but to reflect the woman you've become. Because elegance isn't something you put on. It's something you own. It's in the way you walk into a room, the way you hold your shoulders, the way your clothing speaks on your behalf, without ever raising its voice. If this video made you pause, reflect, or even feel a little more seen, then I hope you'll take that feeling with you. Into your closet, into your next outfit, into every moment where you get to say, without words, "This is who I am now." And remember this: the most unforgettable look you'll ever wear is confidence. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to show up as yourself, fully, gracefully, unapologetically. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, stay radiant.